Welcome and welcome back to this channel. This is the Blessed Bronsons channel, and we are so glad to have you here today. In this video, I'm going to talk about all the DIYs that we had in our wedding, from the start, from our pre-wedding until the end of the wedding. We had so many DIYs that most of them I did myself, and it was a very big sale for us. So let's get tuned, stay tuned, and learn one or two things you might want to do in your own wedding or your function, or you might give tips to other people on the same. The very first thing that was a DIY before the wedding, the pre-wedding, was this. This was my flower, a bouquet. It's not a bouquet, but yeah, this was my flower during the pre-wedding. I made this. Some of you know that I crochet, so I crocheted all these flowers. These are 10. The very first thing I did was crochet a bouquet, and I didn't buy skewers. So what I did, I just used sticks, and it was so heavy, and there were so many, and I didn't like it as much. Then these rings my big sister brought to me, and I decided to use them instead of having the bouquet because it was heavy and big. It was not just doing the thing for me. So I used the flowers that I had already made, and then I used a glue stick, a glue gun with glue sticks, of course, to pin them together. So I put on the back of one flower the glue, then I put the other one on the other side, making sure that the ring is in between. Then I made this. They can't move, and this was awesome. This is how I was. I'll find a picture or a video, something that will show my flower being its best during my pre-wedding. That is one. Another thing I did, of course, with my family and friends at home during my pre-wedding, was decorating the pre-wedding venue. So we found people to come and do the tents, the tent vendors, the chairs, the decoration of the chairs, and all around. But we blew balloons ourselves, and then we decorated. So we did the decor ourselves, and the only thing that was there was balloons. We did some few ribbons, but most of the things that were all over were balloons, and it was beautiful. No one knew that we did it ourselves. It was so cheap because just buying like 2 packs of balloons, it's like 400 and something, and even if you can go for few, it is very fine. Then we just did the best work we could to make sure the place looked beautiful. You don't need to get so expensive things to make your day beautiful, but if you're able to do that, why not? My day was beautiful, our pre-wedding was amazing, and the pictures came out so nicely, and I don't regret doing it. I would do it again and again if an opportunity comes up. Onto the wedding. The first thing that I would like to talk about is the wedding invitation card. So we sat down, my husband and I, and made the most beautiful wedding invitation card. And all we needed to do after that is find a person who can print for us. We didn't have to get someone to do the design, then afterwards they do the printing. It would have taken uh, a very good amount of money for us to get all that. So what we did is we just made our own, made it to fit what we exactly wanted. Then we send it to the person who was supposed to print. We went there, did a printout, just one to see. Then it was awesome. Then we just told him to go on and print the others. But it really saved us on money. It really saved us on back and forth with whoever would have been designing the card. So that is the first thing that we DIYed in our wedding. The flower girls. So the flower girls had some tiny, very beautiful baskets, and I DIYed those ones too. So I went to River Road in town and got the baskets. They were going at should be 60 shillings each. I bought several. There were four. I bought four. I found a place where I can get like a satin fabric. I bought satin fabric. I already had a glue gun and some glue sticks. I just had to add a little more. And what else? So where I had gone to buy the baskets, they had this confetti. I believe they're called like that. Those tiny, tiny things there that I used to be thrown during the wedding. And I bought those ones. I went home, I sat down, and I made them. The very first thing that came to my mind before I wanted to make the baskets was to find out how much they were. And the cheapest was going at 300 shillings, and then the other one that follows that was 500. And I asked myself, the kind of creativity that God has helped myself has helped me have has gifted me. Why would I not just buy these things and make them at home? And that thing kept ringing in my mind, and I was like, nah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make them. So I used like less amount, like way less than what I would have used when I would have just bought the ready-made ones. And again, I had time because I started planning for the wedding early. I had time to do all this. So it didn't take my time. I can't say like I wasted time. I would have bought the flower baskets just for convenience. No, it was very okay for me because I had the time. So I made the baskets myself at home, and it was a really amazing thing knowing that the kids are going to carry something that I really put my time and effort into it. It was beautiful. So I made a flower corsage. That's what it's called. A flower that we put on the hand, and it had a tie. So I made four for my four beautiful things that I had in the wedding. So they were just flowers that I bought. I bought so many flowers, and all I needed to do was cut them out of the bouquet that I bought from and make them, put them on ribbons, and just make them tight enough or well glued on the ribbon for them to be able to be tied on the hand. And my babies danced without holding anything. It was amazing. They really danced. They really put in their energy. They were still having the flower, but they really put in their energy, not thinking of something being held on their hands. Of course, I'll find some videos and pictures that I'll put on the screen for you to know and see what we did in our wedding. Bridesmaids. I also made them flower, just like this one. But for them, I bought flowers and then I put the flowers here and not this crochet. As I said earlier, I'll put some videos and some photos here for you to see how beautiful they came out. I already had the rings. I didn't buy them. My sister brought them to me. Then I bought the flowers and I just put them there using hot glue, and it was beautiful. I didn't have to go and buy very expensive flowers. Where I went to buy the baskets for the kids, I saw such flowers, and I asked the woman who was selling the baskets and the flowers how much it was. And what she said is one is 500 shillings. And she was using some, it was good plastic and good, amazing flowers. And then there was a ribbon going around the round plastic, and it was beautiful. She said one is for 500. So if I was to buy for six my six girls my six girls, yes, there were six. If I was to buy for my six girls, then I would use 3,000 shillings for that. And I used less than 1,000 bob because I didn't buy the rings. I bought the flowers and I just used the glue gun that I already had. Glue sticks were going for 10 shillings, so I needed few, less than 10, to to use and make the flower. So it was cheaper. It was very nice. Me loving to do things that I want for myself. It was really nice. My bouquet, my flower bouquet, that is another thing that I DIY'd. So my sister had bought me a very beautiful bouquet, but it was so tiny. It was tiny. It was beautiful but very tiny. Then the flowers were not white, they were cream, and I didn't like it that much. So what I did, I pulled out the flowers that had come with the bouquet, like the bouquet itself. So I pulled up the flowers and bought new flowers and put the bigger and more white and purple, good looking flowers that I wanted. So I had to restructure the flower for it to meet what I wanted it to be like. So the tiny flowers that I had, the the previous one, the main bouquet, the main flowers that were on the bouquet, I took them and used to add also more flowers on the corsage for the teens, and I added more flowers for the bridesmaids. So the flower didn't go to waste. I used it some to other places, and it was really fun doing all this. My bouquet came out very nicely. It was not that big, but it was big enough for me to feel like this is what I wanted. It's very nice to do something for yourself. If you're in a position to do it, if you're not, if you don't have the creativity, if you don't feel like you can really put together something beautiful, please use vendors. They will do a great work. Another thing that I DIY'd was cleaning and steaming my wedding gown. Yeah, I did that. I went to the dry cleaners and ask them how much it will be to dry clean my gown and just make it whole. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It was not so much. It was like 3,500. That's not so much. But when you are in that space of knowing that there is so much you need to do with money during the wedding, and you have so much, and you know that you are capable of doing some things, I was like, what's the worst that can happen if I just wash my own gown and just iron it? What will happen? So I went online and searched and did research about how wedding gowns are treated, what happens to it before they are before they are ironed. Uh, is there ironing taking place on the gowns? Do they get spoiled? I did all the research that I could, and I found out that the wedding gowns are just washed, then they are steamed, and the steaming makes them feel look good, and there is nothing like ironing that's really needed. But if your wedding gown has the a satin fabric, you can still do ironing. And I was like, okay, this is not that hard. This is not that hard. What I did was I went and bought a steamer. I did buy a steamer for myself, not even for the gown or anything to do with that, but for myself because I'm a crochet artist. All the time we need to do blocking. We need to steam our things after we have made them. So you finish making a dress, you need to steam it because when you steam it, it's called blocking. It relaxes. The yarn relaxes and it feels better. It feels flowy and it's just awesome. So I bought it for that and I was like, okay, because I need to steam, let me take advantage of wanting to steam my gown to buy a steamer so that I also keep using it in my crochet business. And it was a very good thing. The steamer was like 2,000 shillings. And imagine using 2,000 shillings and using the steamer the whole time I will be doing my business. So I turned my wedding gown inside out, put it inside the washing machine, put it like set the machine for delicate fabric, and I washed it. And I washed it. And I put it out to dry. It was just like Like today, no, I didn't even put it outside. I hung it in the house, just inside to dry. And because the washing machine like rinses and wrings completely water out of the fabric, it just took a few hours for it to be dried. Then I turned it right side out. Then I steamed the whole thing. I took my time. It didn't take a short time. I took my time to steam the whole gown and it came out beautiful. No one would tell if I did all this by myself. But you can do it if you have time, if you have the patience, because it calls for patience. A wedding gown like mine has so many layers of fabric, and it was so hard for me to do one layer, finish, take out another one, do layer by layer, layer by layer until I finished. It was a lot of work, but I was determined to do it for myself. I was so happy because I did it. It was so awesome. And I don't regret a bit because it was an amazing feeling putting on a gown knowing that I did everything to make sure that it looked beautiful. I invite all of us who have had weddings to comment in the comment section what you did as a DIY in your wedding. And those of us who have not yet gotten married or we are planning to get married and we want to do some DIYs, please comment in the comment section and tell us what you would want to DIY in your wedding. Thank you so much for staying until this place. See you in our next video. Bye.